Oh, the irony. This is just too good, folks. I had to share this article with you. Now, this is a story that hasn't gotten a lot of play. Another queer news update, ladies and gentlemen. Queer news update. But back in November, there was this controversy over a high school production of the play Indecent, which was canceled because of indecency. Now, they've got a picture here of these activists, and they're carrying signs that say, "Protect queer and trans youth." And from the looks of it, these aren't people you want to date. In fact, they got a woman in front here. She looks like she hasn't eaten in a week, and she's got a sign in all caps that says gay. It's in blue. Title of the article, Canceled High School Play Raises Concerns Over Ripple Effects of Florida's Don't Say Gay Law. Story by Jennifer Gerson, last name Gerson. This came out January 18th. And by the way, the 19th, they're answering the how and why of politics and LGBTQ plus news, so definitely subscribe to their daily newsletter. Madeline Scotty couldn't wait to be part of their school's production of Indecent, a senior at Douglas Anderson School of the Arts in Jacksonville. Scotty had been cast in one of the lead roles and was also serving as the dramaturg. Now, a dramaturg, according to the article here, is an expert on a play's text. They serve as a resource for the actors, director, crew. Scotty had worked hard over winter break preparing for the start of the rehearsals, eager to share the work with their school community. Indecent felt especially timely. It tells the story of a 1923 production. I think you know where this is going. Tells the story of a 1923 production of the Yiddish play God of Vengeance, which led to the eventual arrest and conviction of that show's producer and cast for its depiction of ... a lesbian relationship. Is a lesbian relationship portrayed on stage, is that appropriate for people in high school? With a rise in anti-Semitic activity nationwide and Florida's passage of the Parental Rights in Education, known also as Don't Say Gay, Scotty felt passionate about sharing the story about Jewish life in the face of homophobia with their community. Where's all this homophobia? I'm gay. No one's giving me any grief. Why don't make it my business to tell other people my business? Whatever happened to keep it behind closed doors? Keep it in the bedroom. Scotty said they entered the show's first rehearsal after returning from the winter break, grinning ear to ear, oh, I'm sure. But they instantly noticed that the adults in the room seemed less energetic than we were. Well, I wonder why. The show's producer then announced that the show had been canceled, a decision made by school administrators who said the show contained inappropriate content. The script includes a sex scene between two women. Scotty said she initially assumed that the producer was joking. Canceling the production of a play that grapples with the effects of censorship on artists sounded like a punchline. Well, they're not trying to stifle your speech here. The question isn't a matter of speech. It's this portrayal that would not be, this portrayal of a lesbian relationship, this sex act that would not be appropriate for people of a certain age. We all kind of looked around the room waiting for someone to laugh, they said. We thought we were going to laugh and be like, okay, now take this feeling and use it in a scene. Instead, the students at the Public Arts High School would perform Anton Chekhov's play The Seagull, which Principal Tina Wilson wrote in an email to families was more suitable for student performers and student audiences. Quote, although students were required to provide parental consent to appear in the original selection, which I'm all for, and that's how you should do this, a closer review of the mature content of Indecent led the school to the conclusion that Seagull is better suited for a school production, Wilson wrote in the email. A statement from Duval County Public Schools said Indecent contains adult sexual dialogue that is inappropriate for student cast members and student audiences. It's that simple. Right on. Right on for standing up and doing the right thing here. It added that canceling the production was a function of our responsibilities to ensure students engage in educational activities appropriate for their age. I mean, this is something that you would probably perform in college, not in high school. So Scotty took to social media, and their video describing the show's cancellation quickly went viral, landing the school and its students in the middle of the nationwide focus on Florida and raising questions about the impact of Don't Say Gay beyond its written scope. Well, the state of Florida has the right to make that decision. The assumption that has been made is that this has to do with the Don't Say Gay bill, Scotty told the 19th. As I said in my TikTok video, this is not because of the Don't Say Gay bill, but related, I think, to the idea of Parental Rights Act being initiated. You think? And why do you think that is, Madeline Scotty? Why do you think that is? Clay Calvert, a professor emeritus at the University of Florida's Levin College of Law and an expert on First Amendment rights, told the 19th that the school was likely within its rights to censor the performance. The 1988 Supreme Court decision in Hazelwood School District versus Kohlmeyer ruled that schools can censor school-sponsored speech or speech that is part of the curriculum as long as the reasons for doing so are, quote, reasonably related to legitimate pedagogical concerns. Did I say that right? Pedagogical. Pedagogical. I'm sorry. Say that 10 times. Calvert notes that the ruling sets a standard that is intentionally very differential to schools. What this did, Calvert explained, is create a standard that said upfront that if a school finds the content unsuitable for immature audiences, that would be a legitimate reason for censoring. Exactly. Calvert described the effect of Don't Say Gay on Florida classrooms as indirect and related to the overall environment that brought on the legislation rather than anything written in the law, which, as written, is rather narrow in its scope. The law technically only to the classroom instruction in kindergarten through third grades. Despite this, Calvert said that probably educators in Florida at all levels do fear reprisal for speech that might touch on certain LGBTQ issues today. Quote, there's no small amount of irony that a play that stems from an incident a century ago is still being censored today in a public school context. The indecent incident, there you go. The indecent incident now playing at your local college with subpar actors. Calvert said also that the public school administrators and teachers at all levels are no doubt aware of the rather conservative environment that we have in Florida. It really gets at the more macro level question of who gets to control what really takes place in public schools. Well, this isn't an issue, in my opinion, of liberal or conservative. This is an issue of what is appropriate for certain people at a certain age. For students like Scotty, that question feels disheartening at best and scary at worst. Quote, there's a line in the show that says, it won't reach us here. It can't happen here. They're referring to the Holocaust from the perspective of being in America. That's almost how we felt the day we heard this news. You see where this is going now? So they're comparing what happened with this play to the Holocaust. We're just like those victims in the Holocaust because we couldn't perform this play, this one scene. But love is love. We never thought it would ever reach us because we thrive in such a beautiful community filled with queer people and trans people at Douglas Anderson. So to have that reality shock us was heartbreaking. Brandon Wolf, the press secretary of Equality Florida, a political advocacy group, can I talk tonight? A political advocacy group that advocates for civil rights and protections for LGBTQ plus people in Florida, told the 19th he saw a clear connection between the play's cancellation and the Florida education law. No, what you see a connection between here is, these students and your right to just do whatever you want with the LGBTQ community, right? But we warned from the beginning that the school districts, when faced with the prospect of an angry parent and a lawsuit they can't afford to fight, would be forced between a rock and a hard place and take the path of trying to interpret the law in a way that protects them from legal liability, he said. He went on to say, Don't Say Gay has had ripple effects throughout Florida, a wave of bans on books with LGBTQ plus characters, the peeling off of rainbow and safe spaces, of rainbow stickers and safe spaces, from classroom windows, teachers taking off lanyards that say ally. It's such a horrible sight out there, isn't it? Again, the issue is this appropriate for a particular age group? I would say no. Now, if you want the parents to sign a form, and they admit that that's what happened here, you want the parents to sign a form allowing the students of a certain age, let's say a senior in high school, to put on this play, fine. Be a part of it. But there are just certain lines you don't cross. So this is somewhat of a lengthy article, so I'll cut it off right here. But go check out this article at the 19th. Story by Jennifer Gerson, last name Gerson, came out the 18th again. The irony. I just can't get over the irony of this. A play called Indecent is canceled for indecency. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, you know what to do. You can also follow me at Instagram, #JasonComposes, because I write music in my spare time. Or find me at Twitter, Culture Confederacy at Twitter. This is the Culture Confederacy saying, peace out, stay safe, everybody. God bless this thing we call the United States. And you know how we do it here. This is where the past crashes with the present. I'll catch you next time.